Welcome to the Fill Your Cups podcast. One thing we're doing this week to fill your cups is providing a totally free worksheet to go along with last week's episode. So be sure to visit our website, fillyourcupspodcast.com, and get the free PDF emailed to you to start improving your relationships with the cue and response method.
Today's episode is about making a summer bucket list and making the most of the season that you're in. Morgan and I are running through some ideas that we have on our list. So hopefully in listening to this episode, you'll get some ideas for yourself. Without further ado, let's dive right in.
Alrighty, what you drinking?
I am drinking an iced coffee that you made me.
I was going to say maybe I should just say what we're drinking because I made it. So it's literally just a cup of coffee that I chilled in the freezer for a little bit. And then I did about a cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk.
Yes. And this is my new favorite coffee.
I love it so much. And then I always add like a splash of liquid stevia, or you could do a packet of the granular stevia.
Mm-hmm.
And
what else is in there, Morgan?
I was feeling a little goofy, so I took some Baileys and added a little splash. You said no at first, but then you took me up on it. So.
I know. I said no, and then you put it in your coffee, and I said, well, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it. I think it's really yummy.
Good.
And it's the first time I've had Baileys in my coffie before.
Ooh, fun. Well, at the time we're recording this, it's a 3-day weekend. So
that's true.
I was just like, man, I could just live up this 3-day weekend right now.
Yes. I love that.
So, yeah. Well, we definitely wanted to give a shout out. We got a little notice from Buzzsprout where we host our podcast, and they were like, congrats, celebrate. You have 25 subscribers. Woo-hoo! And we got those 25 subscribers literally just after posting one trailer. So we're really excited. Thank you all to everyone who has followed us and subscribed and supported us. Several of you even shared on social media and Instagram.
So nice.
We appreciate it so much. We've had tons of messages of support, and that's without even launching a full episode. So literally, thank you.
Yes, that's with posting a little 50-second trailer, which we were so excited about, and then just seeing other people be excited about it too. I feel like it was just so cool to see it happen. It was a cup filler. It sure was. I love that. Well, in today's episode, we will be talking about a summer bucket list. Things to do this summer to keep your cup filled. I was seeing this trend go around on TikTok for a while, and I just knew it was something that I really wanted us to do, because I feel like anytime I see other people talking about ideas of things that they want to do, or oh, here's what I'm doing this summer to maximize my time or whatever, I was like, I love listening to their ideas. And so I felt like we could have some good ideas that we could talk about, and just ways that we're going to maximize our time and our summer. And I also I don't know if anyone else struggles with this, but I have a huge problem of looking forward to what's next. I have a really hard time living in the moment. And I just felt like for so long, summer passes me by because I'm like, I just want it to be fall. I want to be at a bonfire, and I want cold weather. But when it's winter, I'm saying, I just want it to be summer. And I can just never appreciate the season of life that I'm in. Yeah. And I really want to do that this summer, and I really want to make that a priority of not wishing it away and just being in the moment of that season and kind of going with that. So I was really excited to talk about what we were going to do this summer to make sure our cup was staying full.
Yeah, I love that. Bailey totally came up with this idea. So you guys are going to have to share if you've seen other bucket lists going around, or if you've saved any or anything on Pinterest or TikTok or wherever it is. But I'm really excited to get into this because I agree with you. I think the summer goes by so fast, and you just, before you know it, everybody's saying wow, the summer just flew. And we definitely have a lot of things that we want to do this summer, but sometimes you intend to do things and then you don't because you never put pen to paper.
You just don't make a plan. Yeah. You just don't have the mindset of what am I going to do this summer? I feel like for me, I have not a negative outlook on it, but I just tend to be like, oh my God, in the summer it gets so hot. There's never any pools that I can go to. The traffic's awful because everyone's out of school. And I'm like, well, it's really positive too, Bailey.
Girl, that's crazy. I love the summer. I look forward to it all the time. I'm like, I can't wait to be hot and sweaty.
See, that's me in the freezing cold winter, and then it becomes 80 degrees, and I'm like, oh my God, it's too hot. I hate it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, yeah, we definitely can tell that summer has started because I'm seeing 16-year-olds out driving and we're seeing all the people that all of a sudden, they didn't walk their dogs for forever and now we're seeing dogs this way and that way. Everybody's out of school, so they're walking their dogs. We actually had the ice cream man came by our house the other day.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you get any?
We didn't. We totally thought about it, but we had just eaten. But there were a bunch of kids outside and went to the ice cream man. Yeah, I might need to put that on our summer bucket list.
Yes, you should. I feel like that was a huge thing too. Of why the bucket list is trending right now. Of we used to make bucket lists as kids and high schoolers, and why did we stop? Just all of a sudden we became an adult and we're like, no more bucket lists. So bringing them back.
I love the idea of keeping your inner child illuminated, keeping that fresh and energetic and tapping into that kid energy, because you truly did I would jump and be giddy about the summer when I was a kid. And then like you said, now it's kind of well, it's just another season. As an adult, it may not be as exciting. Right. But do we want to kind of dive into the juice of our summer bucket list?
We already had a couple things on our list going into the summer.
Yes. Yeah. So like I said, I tend to really look forward to the summer and sometimes to the detriment of, like you said, missing the other seasons. Yeah. But something that I knew that I wanted to do, I feel like Jared and I were really good about going and seeing live music before the pandemic. But then after that, we didn't for a while. And so I've been really trying to build in times when we can go see live music. And one thing that we put on our schedule was going to the Niall Horan concert. And I just love outdoor concerts. I think they're so fun. This one's at Starlight in Kansas City.
Which is such an awesome venue because it's all outdoors.
Yes.
And it's such a cool small space. You're going to be he's going to see you the whole time. I know. It's so exciting.
I'm so excited. So we actually, honestly, I was thinking about this for so long. I got those tickets from my mother-in-law for Christmas as a Christmas gift.
Oh my God.
So we had that.
And then planned.
Yes. And then there's also this Not Just a Phase Fest, which is a ton of throwback artists, Secondhand Serenade and 303 and Hoobastank and all these. Yellow Card's the one that Jared's really excited about.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to see that. We're going to that festival with a couple of friends, and that's exciting. And then KC has this thing called Hot Country Nights. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So obviously it's country music, but I'm actually going. Jared's not into country, but I'm going with some girlfriends in June. So we've got a couple things on our calendar for live music, and I would love to build in other times for live music, there are bars and things that have Friday night live music, stuff like that. So I would like to look more at that. But those are a couple of things that I already had on the calendar, summer bucket list for sure, of things that I wanted to cross off.
Yes, I love that so much, and that you already had kind of your head start on it. That's so fun.
Yeah, definitely. But for people who maybe haven't had the head start on it, that's kind of why we're make your bucket list now.
Do it now.
Because before you know it, the summer's going to be over. So if you haven't already put a bunch of things on your calendar like I did, then start now.
Yes, I love that. I think the number one thing on my bucket list this summer is I want to take more outdoor walks. So right now I'm getting back into my fitness journey and walking on the treadmill at the gyms, which I'm loving. But I really want to spend more time outdoors and taking my dog Waylon on walks. He's getting kind of old now, so he might not be able to go for the full ones like I want to, but maybe I take him for a mile. Yeah. And then he can go home and rest his little paws, and then I can just keep going. But there's a park right by my house that has a walking trail and everything like that, and I just never go to it.
That's lovely.
It's so lovely, and I am missing a huge opportunity. I've lived in our house for 3 years now, been to it maybe twice. Mason used to go all the time, but I never joined him because I was no, thank you. It's kind of hot outside. I don't really want to go. So this summer, making it a huge priority to take more outdoor walks.
I love that. I think I could see a theme or a trend with these summer bucket lists being things like that, where you always say in the back of your head, oh, I'll go do that someday or whatever. And then you just never do. You're oh, there's that park with those trails. It'd be really fun one day to go.
You drive past and you're oh, how cute.
Oh, that would be fun. And then you just never do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many things like that for me, for sure. One of them actually is the second thing on my list that I had that I also feel like I've already planned is I always think in the summers, we've got a younger sister who is like in school. And so I always think, oh, it'd be fun for the summer to like have her over, have a sleepover. Cause I just know, I don't know if you remember this, but when we were younger in the summers, we would even like sometimes spend the night in each other's rooms.
Yes.
Or, like, it's summer break. So it's like a special time when you get to have a sleepover on like Monday or Tuesday or something like in the middle of the week. And so I know that our younger sister, I want to have her over at some point. And she just turned 16. So she can drive me around places.
That's the best. I'm telling you now, she's already DD for me a couple times. I can't lie. I'm like, all right, Chloe, you want to drive? And she's like, yeah. Perfect.
I'm dead at that.
I also love that you're doing that with her because I'm thinking most of our listeners are going to know this, but there's a 10-year age gap between Chloe and I. So what, like 13 between you and her? So when we were growing up, there was 3 years between us, you know? So we got to have all of those. And I had a best friend who lived right across the street and a cousin who came over constantly. We would have like 1 to 2 week sleepovers.
Yeah.
With those friends or our cousins.
It would just go on and on, wouldn't it?
On and on and on until someone's parent said either you have to come home or they need to go home.
Yeah.
And just Chloe Love doesn't have that because there's a 10-year age gap. And she doesn't have a cousin who's close to her age. And she doesn't have like a friend right across the street she can go to. So I love that you're like making that a memory for her still. That she gets to
definitely. I'll let you know when we do it, and you can decide if you want to sleep over too.
Yes,
invite
please.
the other girls too.
Yes,
for
make it
sure.
a big thing.
I know that we talked a lot about relationships in our last episode too, and I think that this summer bucket list, while it is a way to add like fun and adventure and kind of that childlike spontaneity to our summers, that it could also be used as a tool to like better our relationships, which we obviously find very important in our lives. So siblings, or maybe there's some relationship that you really want to nurture this summer. This is the way that you could do it.
Absolutely. That literally goes into my next bucket list item, which is I want to spend more time with our nephew. Oh. He is almost 3. He'll be 3 in September. And this summer, he's really... Obviously, he's walking and he's talking and he's like loving to ride his bike and he loves picking up sticks and like he just loves being outside. And I just want to make it a priority to spend a lot of time with him this summer. And obviously with his parents, we love you guys too. But I just think it's such a fun idea. I've always wanted to be, an aunt. And so I'm like, we're really getting into that role. And I just want to see him all the time. I want to take him to splash pads. I already texted his parents and asked them like, hey, Inside Out 2 is coming out soon. Now, Beckett might be a little too young for this. We'll see. He has not been to a movie theater yet. But his parents were like, yeah, we can try it. Like, take him to the movies, see how it goes. And I was like, yeah. And if he hates it or if like that's not his thing, you can't sit down and fully do that in a movie theater yet, we'll take him to a splash pad.
I kind of love, though, like either way, you'd be the first people to try it with him.
Me too.
I also love the idea of like just really leaning into a role that like acknowledging this is a role that I was so excited to have for so long.
Yes.
I'm going to lean into it and be intentional about it specifically this summer.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that so much.
I'm excited for it. I also just know that it's going to, like, I already have an amazing relationship with my little Beckett boy and his parents. Love you, Nicholas. Love you, Abby. We have a great relationship with them, but it's just going to be just so much more fun to not see them only on like game nights or family events, but also just like, hey, it's Friday. Can we come out there and hang out with you guys and play in your backyard? Like, you know what I mean?
You guys are really good, I think, at adopting the aunt, auntie and uncle vibe role. I love that so much. I don't have any nieces or nephews yet, but
I'll get working on that for you.
I am kind of like putting this in the back of my brain though for that point in time because I am really excited to be an aunt at some point.
Yeah.
But like we said about like the seasons, sometimes you look forward to something for so long, but then once it actually comes, then you're already looking to the next thing.
Yeah, you wish it by.
Yeah. So I definitely am planting this little seed in the back of my head about that. I love that. One thing I had on my list, so this is inspired from something we did yesterday. Jared and I do our monthly dates, and we played some tennis yesterday. We haven't played in so long. And I know, like, what is it? Pickleball. Pickleball is so big.
It is so big. It's so fun.
It's so big. It is so, yeah, you and our other sister play that pretty often. You and Julia and your hubbies. Yeah. So it's gotten really big, but Jared is very tennis is the classic. Yeah. We got to do tennis. And we played some yesterday and it was really fun. It was just a nice way to be active too. Yeah. So I think that anytime that we can build in something together that is also benefiting us in some other sphere, like having some movement, I love that. So I definitely I need to figure out like a number, because you know how I like have my rules and stuff. I need to figure out like, okay, do I want to put this on our summer bucket list, like play tennis bi-weekly, play tennis 4 times or something like that. I need to kind of work through that and figure it out. But I think that our listeners could do that too. If it's something that's just like generic like that, like play tennis more, like figuring out what that means to you. I need to figure out what that means for me.
I love that idea. I think that's super fun. And it makes me want to get back into pickleball with Julia and our hubbies, because we were playing once a week. We were playing like every Wednesday, and it was so fun. But we started doing it right at the end of fall, going into the winter almost. So sometimes it was just getting too cold, and we were like, we can't play today. Like, it's snowing. So I'd love to get back into that one for sure as well. And it's just yet another way to spend a lot of time outdoors. Yeah. I think maybe that's
we do have a theme of being outdoors.
Yeah. I think that's the running theme in my list. I'm like, I just want to spend every moment
that vitamin D.
Yes.
Your body doesn't produce vitamin D on its own, I think. I need to cite that.
We'll fact check that.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't doesn't produce it on its own, or it has a really hard time. It only produces in really small quantities or something. Yeah. So being outside is important.
I think so too, especially I work in an office every day.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't hardly get any time outside unless I mindfully plan it.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge thing that I'm doing this summer. Yes. And something that I really want to do, and Mason and I love doing this, but I want to go to the drive-in movies more often.
Oh, this is so funny because right before this you said that, and I thought that the one closest to us was like closed, but it is open. So if y'all are in the KC area, the Twin Drive-In is open.
It's the classic one. Like, it probably hasn't been renovated or updated since the 90s, but hey, it works. And you can watch your movies on there. But
they had like Garfield out or something.
Yeah, they did. That's something I really want to do. We love the regular movie theaters a lot. And so I just think it'd be so fun to make that a priority and, get snacks and blankets. And our car's an SUV. So we can just kind of put the seats down and then lay in the trunk space.
Yes, I love
which is really nice. But I've also gone to the drive-in before with like lawn chairs. And put them right outside. So either way, I just think it'd be such a fun idea.
To like the speakers at the drive-in, or do you use the radio?
I think we use the radio.
Okay, in your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think like you connect to the station. Although several years ago we went and we did that, but we kept the car on all the way on accident.
And your battery died? That's what I always worry about. That's why I was wondering.
There's a switch.
Especially if you stay the whole time, like for the double feature. That's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 hours.
I mean, movies are getting longer and longer. It probably is like 6 hours.
Yeah, and if they have previews,
Yeah, I do know that there's like one click and that won't turn your battery on, but it'll let you connect to the radio. It won't turn your lights on or anything. And then there's like to turn it on all the way, I think. Or maybe there's even 2 clicks. I don't know. I should probably fact check that one too.
No, I just was curious what you did because we haven't been in a long time. Which again, this is so great we're talking about this because Jared and I used to go to the drive-in when we were teenagers. It just seemed like a teenage activity,
you know? What I'm saying.
And we used to go, and we haven't been in so long. And to be totally honest, I thought that all the drive-ins were gone, like out of business.
No.
So that was part of why. But also, I think I need to steal this and go to at least once on my list because I love that.
Just once this summer, and then the great thing too is that you don't even have to stay for the double feature. You can watch one of them and then leave. And I think they're pretty cheap. I think it's cheaper to go to the drive-in than it is to go to the actual movie theater.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think AMC is like $15 or something for one movie, and then I think you pay similar at the drive-in, but you can go to both movies, or maybe you pay by car.
Yeah, I think you do definitely pay by person. I just remember that because we used to go to the drive-in. I used to go to the drive-ins with JoJo and Lily and them.
Yeah, our aunt and cousins.
Yeah, our aunt and cousins. And we would always say we were a lot younger than we actually were, so we could get in for free.
See, I don't know why. You guys are going to have to tell us if you remember this, but I don't know why. I feel like I remember people saying that they would like rig the system by piling people in there.
Oh, yeah.
And
people would hide.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not true.
Interesting. Well, okay. We got off on a tangent there, but the drive-in, if you have one near you, definitely it's bucket list worthy, I think.
Yes.
And I do want to circle back to the vitamin D thing because I did look it up to fact check.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it does just come from sunlight. There are like a few foods that it is naturally present in or added to, but for the most part, our body only produces vitamin D when it's triggered from sunlight, like UV rays. So you need that.
Dude, we're probably all lacking so much vitamin D.
Probably.
Unless you do yard work. You're probably lacking so much vitamin D.
Seriously. Well, one way, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but one way I want to get some more vitamin D, kind of similar to I want to put the drive-in on at one point during the summer, but I definitely want to go to a Royals game this summer.
Oh, you have to.
Yes. I love baseball games. I think that they're so fun. The Royals are kicking butt.
They really are,
now.
but the tickets are still so cheap. You can get them for like $5.
Okay, where are you finding these deals? Because every time we look, they're like $25.
Ticketmaster? I don't know. I'll ask Mason.
Okay, maybe
I'll link it.
Maybe like weekday games are cheaper, and we just keep looking at Saturdays because Saturdays always seem like $25, $30. But
I have never bought a Royals ticket over like $7. Ever.
I don't think I have either, but they've never been this good. And I keep looking at Saturdays, but I don't know. I need to find it. But we actually are giving away a ton of Royals tickets for people who donate blood this summer.
Oh, nice.
The Community Blood Center is. So I think that that's going to be a hit because in previous years we've done that and people haven't cared that much because they weren't really good. Yeah. But I think this year the Royals are doing really well. So I definitely want to go to a game at some point.
Yeah, they are. Maybe I can. So Mason finds all of our tickets. So guys, maybe I can get him to send me his little website. He finds them there and I'll put it on our story.
Oh, yeah. You should definitely do that.
$4 tickets.
Yes.
Get them now.
And we will share our different bucket lists on our stories as well.
Yes, we will. I think a huge thing for me that I really want to do is I want to host backyard parties or like backyard dinner parties.
I love that.
Me too.
I know you love your deck.
I love our deck, and it's nothing fancy. I just love being outside. That's what it is. But I spend a lot of time out there by myself. I'll just like read out there or something. But I really want to have people over and spend time intentionally on the deck where we do like a nice dinner party. I just think that would be so cute. You can have some wine out there. We can grill. I could make some type of like pasta and then we could just eat it outside. Like, I just think that sounds so nice. And then also with just regular parties outside, like we have cornhole. We've never played it before. Oh, why have we never done that?
This is another thing, like the going past the park and being like, oh, one day.
Right. I'm just going to set it up in the backyard and then every Friday, he's coming over.
I'll be looking for the invite.
Ooh, okay, because I'm hosting a dinner party this summer.
I love that. Well, that kind of inspires one of my bucket list items. We have a deck as well. It's actually pretty big and we could definitely have some people over on it. But I just, in general, I want to get out there and read. I love to read and I want to get out there more often and read. So again, I think I'm going to have to figure out if there's a frequency or something I need to put on there.
Yeah.
Maybe I do that. I was in the habit for a while of doing that over my lunch breaks if I worked from home.
That's nice.
But yeah, maybe figuring out like, going out on the deck to read just by myself, get some vitamin D once or twice a week at least, starting there, starting kind of small. And
I usually will spend my time reading outside whenever Mason is playing video games with his friends.
Oh, yeah.
Which he does that probably once a week, like maybe on Fridays we'll all get together and play. And I'm like, okay, great, because I'm going to be outside. Yes. That's great for me. And also, I really value my alone time.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I'll be like, okay, I just need some like personal space for a little bit where I need to not talk to anybody. So I'm going to be outside.
I love that. Do you have any recommendations? Because I know you get bug bites and stuff. Do you do like a candle or spray? Or
Girl, I do it all. Bugs love my blood. They love me. So we literally have a bug spray can that is on our bookshelf, like right before it's in our living room.
Can?
Or I'm sorry, like a spray bottle thingy,
okay,
like spray. And I have it on our bookshelf, so when I'm on my way outside, I grab it, take it outside with me. We'll get a citronella candle, and I like to wear the bracelets.
Oh, I forgot about those. Okay, you just get those on Amazon or something?
Yeah, I think I usually buy them at Walmart or Target when I'm there. But they're pretty cheap. I think they're like $4 for probably like a 4-pack or something. That might be totally inaccurate. I'm not sure, but
well, this is definitely something that because I need to put this on my bucket list for sure.
Definitely. Sometimes I'll also make sure that I'm maybe bundled up. I'll put like sweatpants on.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure bugs don't get through.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. When you're sitting outside, especially in the nighttime, it can get a little bit cooler. Not like actually cold, but I don't mind wearing sweatpants out there if it's 90 degrees.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of that I didn't put on my list before, but I think before I meet this bucket list item, I need to put on my bucket list to get some string lights because I know that you have some around your deck, right? Just like on the railing, like not above them or anything like that.
Yeah, they're literally like command stripped to
okay. And are they like solar or how does that work?
No, they plug in. So there is a plug-in right next to our patio door.
Okay.
That is... luckily it's covered by like a little bit of the roof extends out, so it's covered.
We have that too.
So we just have it plugged in there.
Okay. Well, bucket list item for sure that I need to cross off is getting some outdoor lights.
Yes, make the space cute, and then you'll want to spend more time out there.
Yeah,
I fully believe in that, guys.
I love that. We need to talk about that in an episode.
We should.
Like that's creating an atmosphere to make your cup feel full.
Yeah, we should. That's why I'm always redecorating our bedroom. Buying a new comforter every other
you
month.
Are.
I'm like, we need new space. Something that I really want to do this summer is I want to learn how to make cocktails. I don't know how to make any. I would just drink like quirks and things, which I love, but I think it sounds super fun to just learn how to make them and then have like 1 or 2 of those that night. I usually heavily rely on Mason to make the margaritas because he makes really good margaritas.
What?
He makes a good margarita.
Girl, tell him to make some for tonight.
Oh, maybe I will. Yeah, we'll probably spend some time outside tonight, so that can work well for Memorial Day weekend. That's when we are recording this.
Yeah,
so that's why.
At the time we're recording this, it's our 3-day Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Hence the Baileys in our coffee.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I want to learn how to make some more of those and maybe just try drinks that I've never tried before because I would only order mocktails like at restaurants and I'm like, that's like an $18 drink. I don't want to get that and not like it.
Yeah.
So if I just make it at home, how fun.
Yeah, I do love that. Jared and I kind of got into that when he got a cocktail making book for Christmas, if you remember that.
I do.
And it does get a little expensive because you have to get like gin and vodka. Like, well, there's just so many different liquors and liqueurs and all that.
Definitely.
So there's a bunch of different ingredients. But at the same time, you have that big bottle to make several. And after getting enough liquors for different kinds of cocktails, you kind of have a bunch at your disposal that you can use for different ones in the future.
Yes.
But I also think there's something to be said for spending the time to craft something like the same way about with cooking at home or with baking, or even we talked a little bit or we'll talk a little bit about gardening, things like that. Just taking the time to make your whatever it is that you're consuming
yourself.
I feel like there's something about the relationship between you and that.
It feels so, what's it called? Like homestead?
Oh, domestic?
Yeah, probably. I just always feel like such a good wife. When
Homestead.
I
do it. Okay. Well, homestead. We'll go with that. You feel
like the title of this episode. Homestead.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. No, I love that though. I do think so we were kind of talking, or when we're talking about making the cocktails and all that, I do think that one thing that I really like the idea of, I actually don't know how this is related. It's not. But
that's fine.
Going to something on my bucket list is going to the farmer's market. I want to do that at some point this summer.
Homestead.
That's where it is. Yeah, it feels very homestead. Domestic. I don't know. But yeah, we just like, I always think it sounds so nice. And we did go a little bit more when we lived downtown, but we don't go regularly now. So I definitely want to just go at least once this summer.
Yeah.
It always seems nice. I always get flowers when I go.
That's so lovely.
When we go on a Saturday or something, a lot of the time in the summer, something that's nice is going and getting veggies or things that we can cook that night, like on the grill.
Yeah.
Jared's really good at like grilling stuff. So I think that would be really fun. And it always kind of starts the day well. And
yeah, because you almost want to go to the farmer's market early.
Yeah.
Get your coffee. You're getting, it's like a morning date together.
Exactly.
So lovely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And maybe we should check out the Blue Springs one. We live in Blue Springs, and which is a suburb of KC. You know that. But we maybe should check out the Blue Springs one, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot smaller. So I definitely want to, maybe I'll put both on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Blue Springs Farmers Market and the downtown one.
Yeah, definitely. Where's that called? Is that,
City Market?
yeah, but where's it at?
River Market?
River Market.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
All the markets.
All of them combined in one. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of farmer's market, I want to plant strawberries.
You've had success with this, I feel like, before.
We have planted them before, and they have definitely grown, but they get eaten by squirrels or whatever it is that's out on my deck. They always eat them, so I'll go out there and be like, oh my God, look at my beautiful strawberries. And they have bites taken out of them. And I'm like, okay, fuck those squirrels. That's how I feel. Sorry. But I want to really try to do that this summer and really make it a priority, because then it would just be so fun to eat your own strawberries and chocolate covered strawberries and make it into my cocktails, you know? Yes. So I think that will be something I'm going to try to do this summer, is actually intentionally plant my strawberries and put something around it. So that way the little critters can't get in them.
Definitely.
I also always make that something that I'm like, okay, Mason, that's your thing. You go plant and you have a good time. I want to be a part of it this year.
I think that's so fun. The next thing that I had on my bucket list is, I was telling you that I have accumulated so much sick time at my job.
Yes.
And it's going to start accruing even more because I'm hitting my 3 years in November. And at that point, you get more time. Yes. And I'm on like a you accrue it each paycheck type thing. And I have so much sick time, but I'm never sick. Honestly. And even my like doctor's appointments and dentist appointments and stuff like that, I tend to schedule them before and after work hours early at like 7 a.m. or at like 4 p.m. or something so that I don't have to disrupt my work day. But I'm like, you know, I need to take some mental health days, or I just need to, if I do schedule like a dentist appointment, just schedule it in the middle of the day and take the day off for the dentist appointment or something.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I just think especially, I don't know, work can become so stressful, and it's something you do every day. And I definitely feel like I could take some mental health days.
Absolutely. And they're days that you have earned. And I think that people should take those days more often.
Yeah. It's your time. I definitely have no problem taking PTO because we plan trips and stuff like that. But something about the sick time, because ours is still, it's kind of an old system, but sick and PTO are separate. And so I have the sick time and I have the PTO, and I have no problem taking PTO. But then I'm like, should I take sick time if I'm not at home vomiting or something?
And I'm like, I can still work.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously. But I just don't get sick like that very often.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned it and specified it as mental health days, because those are so important.
Yeah.
And you need those to continue kicking ass at your job like you do.
Oh, thanks.
And I think that's a great idea.
Thank you. Well, yeah, that's on my bucket list.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The next thing on my bucket list, it kind of ties into something I've already talked about, but I want to have some game nights with my friends.
Aww.
I feel like every time I get together with my friends, we're drinking and we're not really doing much else. Like we're planning on going to a bar or we're going to go play pool or we're going to watch a baseball game. But I want to plan some actual intentional game nights and play charades or Scrabble or something small and cutesy with my friends.
Yeah.
I think that would be nice. And it goes back into kind of like the childhood activities,
Definitely.
you know, like let's play an actual game.
Yeah. Growing up,
Monopoly.
Yeah, growing up, we used to play so many games, I feel like.
Yeah, we did. We were always playing games. And now I don't remember the last time I played an actual board game.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of speaking about having friends or family, spending time with family, we definitely want to. Jared's aunt and uncle who lived in Minnesota for a long time, and we visited last year, actually. We played tons of card games and stuff when we visited them. But I definitely want to put it on my bucket list for us to spend some quality time with them. Like
That's a great
at least
idea.
just once, like put it on the calendar, ask them to either get a meal or go over. They're looking for a house right now. So maybe when they get their house, go do a little housewarming night or something. Or have them over here. Aunt Lori has met Eddard, but Uncle Brad hasn't. So have them over, do something like that. We definitely want to have that on our summer bucket list.
Yeah, spending the intentional time with family, especially since I just moved back.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
I know.
Love that. It's so fun. One of the last couple things on my bucket list is spending tourist days in Kansas City. We have lived here my whole life, and I have only spent time in Kansas City seriously a handful of times. And there's so many places to explore down there, and there's so many things to do that I have literally never done. So I want to go down there acting like I'm a full-on tourist.
I love that.
I think it just sounds so fun because we travel quite often. And when we travel, we always make sure
to make a plan and hit touristy spots.
Yes, this is a must-see kind of place. And there's so many of those in Kansas City that I've never been to. And there will be so many times that friends or family are coming down to KC and they're like, what should I do while I'm down here? And I'm like, I actually have no idea. I don't know what's down there. Good luck.
Yeah.
You're probably going to do more than I would. So I want to spend some time in Kansas City and just really getting to know my city.
Yeah. I bet our listeners have some good ideas too.
Probably.
If
I've
they're in
gotten so
Kansas
many
City.
ideas from people that don't even live here.
Yeah. Yeah. We should definitely, if you guys have some ideas for Bailey's KC tourist days,
yes,
let us
shout 'em
know.
out.
Yeah. This kind of goes with that, but I saw the other day that downtown KC has this rooftop pool that you can get like a day pass at. And if you're Jared and you're listening to this, I hope you are, but skip ahead a little bit because I want to make that our July date. I talked about on the last episode that we trade off monthly planning a date for the other person. So I did May and that was our tennis date I talked about. And then, so he's going to have to do June. And then in July, I definitely want to it should be like a hot summer month. So I definitely want to do a day pass at the pool and just spend, cause we don't have a pool at our house and we don't have a neighborhood pool. Jared's dad lives in the neighborhood next to us and they have a pool, but we kind of have to go to him, get the key. A lot of the time there's a ton of kids, so this would be more of like a luxury experience, and it would be downtown KC, so that'd be fun.
So fun. And a rooftop.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
think it's the Westin.
Time.
I'm not sure.
Oh, is that the hotel?
Yeah.
I think I went there one time for live music.
Oh, cool.
So that's so funny. That's so full circle.
It is so full circle. Oh my gosh.
I didn't know they had a pool up there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I'm pretty sure that's what popped up, but
yeah. Probably just we went towards the end of fall. So it's probably closed up and we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, speaking of pool, the last thing on my bucket list is I want to buy and wear swimsuits that I feel good in this summer.
Oh, I love that.
I think it's a huge thing of, I could always wear cute little string bikinis and feel really good in them because I was young and could wear whatever. I don't know. I could wear whatever I wanted, but I feel like last summer and probably even the summer before that, I just did not want to go swimming because I was like, I'm going to have to find a bathing suit. I'm going to have to wear it. I'm going to feel really insecure wearing it. So this summer, and it's because I hadn't changed up the style of bathing suit I was wearing since I was 17.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
And I think that it's I'm getting older. I'm no longer wearing super short shorts and crop tops anymore. Like, so why am I still wearing my string bikinis? They're not looking the same that they used to look when I was 17. So I want to buy swimsuits that I know I'm comfortable in and that I feel like look good on me and that I feel confident in. And so that way it's something that when I'm going to the splash pad with my nephew or when I'm going to join you and Jared on your date night at your rooftop pool, I can feel good about it. And I don't have to worry about how I look. I can just worry about the activity itself.
I love that so much. Yeah. And I think that's another one of those things that we let go for so long, especially like your clothing or whatever. You just kind of put yourself on the back burner. Like you would probably pretty quickly buy things for Mason or Beckett or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
But for yourself, sometimes it's like, I've been thinking about trying new swimsuits for a while and I just haven't done it.
Yeah, and it's like one of those situations where you don't go swimming that often unless you have a pool or a neighborhood pool, but it's one of those situations where I'm like, oh, we're going on a float trip this summer. I don't need to get anything. I have a swimsuit. Like, what you bought 8 years ago. Should probably get a new swimsuit.
I think that's so fun. Well, I know we're going to take these things and actually put them on a list and make a story or some sort of thing like that and then allow our listeners to make their own as well.
Yes, we highly encourage you guys to make your own bucket list this summer. Yeah. Really expand your summer and maximize everything that you can do.
Yeah. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our summer bucket list, right? We definitely want to hear what you guys are putting on yours.
Yes, I want to hear it. We'll have it on our story. We'll have a template of my bucket list and one of Morgan's, and we highly encourage you guys to make your own. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see you next week.